Let's see. Hello? All right, test mic. All right, sorry about that. Mic was off. So good morning, everyone. It's April 22nd, 2025, 9:38 in the morning. Sorry about that. Mic was off earlier, so now we're back. So SPY is having a little bit of a gap up by $6.12. We are an inside bar, and we are looking at BABA as well. So BABA is a nice gap up by $3.40. We are inside our pre-market high and a pre-market low level. It is below the VWAP right now. We are also watching Tesla. Tesla is supposed to have an earnings at the close today, after the close. So pre-market low is 227 with a pre-market high of 231. Huge wick at 233.4. It is testing the level of yesterday based on the daily. Next one is Apple. Apple is a gap up, $3.70. Pre-market low here, 193 with a pre-market high of all the way up here to 196. So that's Apple. Nvidia is an inside bar. Looking at the daily here, pre-market low is at 97 with a pre-market high of all the way to 98. It is respecting the VWAP, so we have a lot of volume here, so that's pretty good. Let's see. All right, so Nvidia here is a potential for a long. It had been respecting the VWAP here and big wick at 97.4. SPY is creating a new high of the day, so Nvidia here is a potential for a long. So let's look for a confirmation with our tape as well as a level 2, 98.3839. So it is respecting that 98.30's level. So we'll start a small position here in Nvidia. 98.20. There is still a lot of orders sitting at the bid, so expect a pullback. So we are waiting for a little bit of a pullback with Nvidia before entering in. So 98.30. All right, entering long at Nvidia here. That was a nice spike with that tape as well. So we entered long at 98.38. And let's look at a smaller time frame. We had some confirmation when we saw a huge ask, and that's when we entered the trade. So thinking of adding to that position if SPY shows us some signs of strength. SPY now is creating a new high of the day. Nvidia struggling at 50s, entering, adding to that position to the long for Nvidia. 60s. SPY is testing the pre-market high. Rejection at 50 in Nvidia. SPY just created a new high of the day. So high of the day, it is above the pre-market high. That's the reason why we added to our position in Nvidia as well. Just riding that momentum. So stop loss here is just below that VWAP in Nvidia. Very huge wick here in Nvidia, so we have to take that into consideration too. So now it is retesting our first entry there with an average cost of just about 98.45. All right, so tape here, 98.45, 46. Rejection at SPY at the pre-market high, 520.91. That is also yesterday's high of this red candlestick. All right, back to Nvidia. So we entered long at Nvidia and just monitoring this trade. So SPY right now is still looking strong. 1 minute here. So we did encounter some sellers here, but that's also because that is the pre-market high. Going back to NVIDIA. So stop loss here is just at the VWAP. So stop loss 97.98. But right now, NVIDIA looks fine. Now, the thing with NVIDIA is we're still waiting for a bunch of confirmation because we don't have a lot of volume bar here. So NVIDIA, there is a lot of order sitting at the ask now. Look at this bunch of order. They are pushing it to 98.80, which is where we at right now. And 98.80 incoming here. That is the high of this candlestick as well as the pre-market high. So 98.82, 83. Taking some partial here. That level was tested, 98.80. So SPY also is having a nice leg up. All right, so we took some partial. Big rejection at 98.79, which is expected. That is the pre-market high. Wow, SPY pushing forward here. And that is what NVIDIA is doing too. So 98.80. Look at this order flow. Okay, some rejection in SPY. Took another partial there. I did not like that SPY had a rejection at 521. 98.83, 84. They are still pushing this one. SPY, another leg up. And I don't even hear if there's any news. I was just playing the technicals. 99. Wow, look at this. So what else is moving? Everything is moving. Tesla's moving. SPY had a little bit of a pullback. All right, time to put our stop loss higher than break even. So even if SPY have a massive pullback, then this trade right here is still a green trade. All right, what's the next trade? Rivian is having a leg up. Tesla as well. So Tesla is the one that has earnings after the close. Look at this SPY right here. So SPY tested yesterday's high, and then of course there will be a lot of stop loss there, and those stop loss got hit. So covering, and that covering makes what we call a short squeeze. So this right here is a short squeeze right there. All right, so what I'm seeing with SPY now is there's a huge volume bar at that squeeze. Now, are the buyers getting tired of buying this, and it's due for just a minute pullback? So we are just gonna, oh, stop loss got hit. All right, but we were able to capture that move. So that move was good enough. We were able to ride 98.39 all the way to 98.93. So that's a 60 cents move. This one now is very erratic. This can just be a pullback now. We are at the critical level that is the pre-market high, but what we can see here in SPY is, okay, this one is actually good. Looks like just a bull flag pattern pushing higher. There's not a lot of volume bar when it's going down, so buyers are still stepping in here at 521.66. But with that quick of a trade with NVIDIA, let's see if we're gonna have another easy trade here. With NVIDIA, with my 5-minute time frame, it did encounter that R4. Look at that. Rejection at R4 before it retested this level, 98.82. I just don't like to trade this one now because of this huge wick. So you have a massive wick here from 97.32 to 98.81, more than $1 wick, and then this huge wick as well. This can also just short squeeze people, because SPY here can also just have a pullback or try short squeezing. That's why I don't want to enter any trades yet until we have a very good confirmation of what the SPY or NVIDIA wants to do. Rivian here having a nice run from 1127 all the way to 1160. BABA is at the VWAP in the 5 minutes, but just bunch of consolidation. Tesla here. I won't be surprised if Tesla will have a massive run today, just because of the expectation, just because after the market closes is the earnings. So those who were waiting to enter Tesla for quite a while could take advantage of this price, 235. So this level was touched. When was that? This one was when there was a big news of the postponement of tariff. So that's April 9th, that was touched, April 8th, April 7th, and all the way to March 11th, that level was touched as well. And every time that level is touched, we got a bounce, big bounce. So I won't be surprised if a lot of buyers are going to be stepping in to Tesla to take advantage of this price. All right, so now look at what SPY is doing now. SPY is having that pullback, and NVIDIA as well. That's why we did not want to enter NVIDIA when it was starting to consolidate, because the easy trade there already happened. All right, let's see what else. Tesla having a pullback too, Apple pullback, INTC having a pullback, but let's see, that movement is just less than 30 cents. It's not even worth our time. Amazon having a pullback too, but it is an inside bar. What is the VIX doing today? Wow, look at this massive move. All right, so I think that's it for the day. We'll call it a day, and yeah, we'll just make it short. I know previously recordings had been quite long, and if it takes a while for those strategies to form, but now that the market is so volatile that even in the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we are already able to see those opportunities. And yeah, we'll call it a one and done day. So we only traded NVIDIA, and let's just do a recap. So I turned my computer a little bit late today, but what I saw was SPY was having a gap up. So looking at the daily, SPY had up by that time, I think it was like around $5. So the way that we get to see that gap up is we look at the highest time frame in a day trading world, which is a daily, and the 5 minutes. Look at this 5 minutes gap up here. So you have a nice gap up. It's already screaming at you that this is a strong stock, so you're not supposed to short it. So what we're looking at now is, since we got the confirmation that it's a gap up, is what is the level that this stock is respecting. So this stock is respecting the VWAP. So every time it touches the VWAP, there's a pop. And since most of the stocks are mimicking what the overall market is doing, Could be the other way around as well. Overall market is looking good because individual stocks, which consist of the SP 500, are doing good. But long story short, it is the momentum. As a momentum trader is the one that we are concerned of. So as I mentioned earlier, I wasn't even paying attention to the news. I did not have any time to look at the news or even hear it. But as a technical trader, we look at the technical level and look for the opportunities that the stocks are giving us today. So what I saw with NVIDIA is same as SPY, NVIDIA showed us some signs of strength. NVIDIA was captured by our scanner because it is gapping up. At the same time, this is our usual suspect. Usual suspect is if there's not a lot of stocks in our scanner is, of course, the magnificent stocks. You got NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Meta. But what we saw with NVIDIA is the strength that it was showing. So we have a pre-market high at 98.8 with a pre-market low of 97.23. We were not even done doing our levels, but what we saw with NVIDIA is the strength. So at the pre-market high at 98.78, which is all the way up here in the 5 minutes, we saw that it is about to test that high. And while we were looking at that level, we were simultaneously looking at the SPY as well. What was the SPY doing at that time? At that time, so that's first candlestick, second, third candlestick, so that's 15 minutes in, SPY is creating a new high of the day. So that new high of the day is just enough for us to see and to have that conclusion that maybe NVIDIA will have that momentum as well to create a new high of the day. And sure enough, that's what it did. So the first and the only trade that we did was NVIDIA, but what I saw was SPY was strong, NVIDIA having a little bit of a gap up there is also respecting that VWAP. So at the VWAP, I started my position here. So started a position and building up that position. Now, I was confident to enter this trade because I can have a nice stop loss just below the VWAP. So just below the VWAP would be my stop loss. So you always have to think of two things that you have to enter. What is your entry? What is your stop loss? And of course, the third one is what is your profit target? So here, entry added to that position, stop loss right here, and then at the pop, which is the high of the day, testing the high of the day, we covered some shares, and then it had another pop, covered some shares as well, and then we were just moving our stop loss higher than our break even, so it does not turn into a red trade. And sure enough, it stopped us out, and then now we are having that pullback. So the reason why I was aggressive as well in putting my stop loss behind the move is what SPY is doing. SPY had a very strong move to the upside all the way to 522 until it cannot move anymore, until it showed that weakness. So at that weakness all the way to 522.23, then there is this pullback. So when I saw that big candlestick on the upside, that could have been those stop loss got hit, it got short squeezed, and then had a lot of people who were short trying to cover their shorts, so buying back their shares, hence having that leg up. Look at the volume bar, that's a lot of volume bar. So buyers are probably getting exhausted in buying it, so it encountered that pullback. So that's the reason why I needed to be aggressive with NVIDIA and started to put my stop loss above the break even, and sure enough, it stopped us out, and then now it's curling up. But the easy trade here already happened at that first 15-20 minutes of the market. Right now, it's just hard to trust whether this one is gonna push higher or not. I doubt it, just because look at the volume bar now. Volume bar is dying compared to the volume bar right here, at least there's still some momentum there. Right now, you can just get chopped here. This one can just move sideways like that just because people are just undecided because of this volume bar. See, those volume bars just tells you that that can also just be algorithms, and there's not a lot of retail traders who's really stepping in. So that's why we are done with the trade. So with NVIDIA, this is, okay, let's grade it. NVIDIA, not an A+ setup, just because although our levels is there, but look at this massive wick right there. Although we have a massive wick right there, when we look at the 5 minutes, the 5 minutes is our entry. That is the entry, and the stop loss is below that. But there is still a bigger risk because of this huge wick in the 15 minutes. That's why I like entering a trade where there's not a lot of risk, meaning the wick is not as huge as this, because that's more than $1. But we were able to capitalize on that move just because of the confirmation that we got from SPY. So with that, we are done with our trade. So 30 minutes into the trade, that includes our recap. But technically we were done at 9:45, so 15 minutes into the trading day, and we're done. So in case you guys have any questions, please feel free to check our website out. It's called eCourse Unlock, and we are more than happy to help you guys with any day trading questions. Day trading is our passion. We believe that we are not designed to do 9 to 5 and work until we're 65, and then once we're 65, that's the only time that we get to enjoy our time. I mean, that's not going to be fun to travel anymore when you have to use a cane or something. So right now, that's what triggers, or that's what fuels our passion in day trading. It's the freedom, time freedom, as well as financial freedom. And you don't have to be stuck at 95. There's a big order sitting right here at 99, so they're pushing this one to 99. So let's look at that now. So 98.95, just wanted to, there you go, 98, boom, 99. Wow, they push it to 99. That was a big order. So that's how you use your level 2 as well as your tape. You look at the orders, they're sitting there, and that's how you create a bias. So we were able to see that it is gonna get pushed to 99. Sure enough, it did. And then at 99, look at that rejection right there. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to check our website out. It's our passion, day trading. And we are now venturing out as well into real estate. So with day trading, it's a profit-making machine, but also you would need to think of ways on how to make money while you sleep, and that's through that is through real estate investing. So the strategy is, you make as much money as you can in day trading and then put it aside. So you want to diversify your portfolio, not just with stocks, but with other assets, which is rental property. Rental property, even when you're sleeping, you are still making money. And that's the only way that you can get out of the rat race. Because our goal is to be able to have options in life. And that options is, we like to have options early in life, not like having options late in life, which is in retirement. So with that, I hope you guys got something out of this. And yeah, we do live day trading every Tuesday. And with that, I hope you guys had a green trading day. Please check our website out. We do have some freebies there. We are sending our strategy for free. All you need to do is to put in your email. In that way, we would know where to send that PDF form that you can apply in your day trading strategies. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Bye for now.